Welcome to Larry the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. I love the new Dokken album, Heaven Comes Down. It's their 13th studio album, the first album in 11 years. It clocks in at a really nice 42 minutes. I complain a lot that albums are too long. This one is just perfect. What works on this record for me is that these songs, they are just so catchy. They're so memorable. So many great choruses, so many cool riffs, great melody lines. Now, let's get it out of the way right from the beginning. Everybody's going to say, what about Don's voice? If you've heard Don Dokken's voice, any live clips in the last so many years, he clearly does not have the range that he used to. He struggles to sing the classic 80s type stuff. I know that Don has had some health issues, and you can hear that his voice has changed. You can hear it. There's a little bit of a rasp and a grit quality to his voice. It sounds like he's damaged his voice a little bit. He does not have the range that he used to. But in my opinion, it still sounds really cool, and it works. It works on this album because these songs have been written around where his voice is at right now. I truly believe that if Dokken went out and they only played songs from this record, that Don would sound great live, because this is where his voice is at now. And I'd like it. It's got this little bit of a grit to it. It's laid back. It's kind of bluesy. He still has some range. He's not a high tenor anymore. I'd put him as like a low tenor type of voice. But at this point, he doesn't need to be singing way up high. And honestly, where I'm at listening to music anymore, I don't need to hear guys way up high in their range, singing aggressively and stuff like that. I appreciate this kind of laid back, more bluesy, more mid-range style of singing, and it really works in these songs. Another thing that some people have complained about is John Levin's guitar playing. It sounds too much like George Lynch. I've heard John say that George is like one of his biggest influences, or a huge influence on him. Yes, it does sound like George at times. I don't feel like he's ripping him off. It just sounds like he's influenced by George and that style of 80s guitar playing. I think his tone is great. I think his leads are great. The riffs are cool. I'm totally okay with it. It works for me. The whole album has this classic 80s underlock and key, tooth and nail, that era of the band. It's got that classic feel to it, just with Don singing in a different voice and a little bit more of a modern production. The songs, so many great songs on here. Fugitive, Gypsy, Just Like a Rose, great big catchy choruses like you might have gotten from the 80s, like In My Dreams or Dream Warriors or Tooth and Nail, Just Got Lucky, that kind of thing. They're just choruses that just jump out at you. So I've complained that too many modern releases, I hear them and there may be some cool riffs and some cool things here and there, but the songs just don't stick with me. That's not the case on this record. Every song on this record just stuck with me as soon as I heard it, and it made me want to go back and listen to it again and again, something that doesn't happen very often with modern albums. There's some great ballads on here. I'll Never Give Up and Lost in You. Fantastic. I Remember. I absolutely love the chorus in this song. So catchy. Another great ballad, and it's got that kind of Alone Again feel to it. There's some slower, heavier ones. Saving Grace, Over the Mountain. They've got big hooks in them, great choruses. The album ends with Santa Fe, which is an acoustic number, a nice way to take the album out. The only song that's probably not my favorite song on the record is It Me or You? It has this kind of bluesy feel that I don't really care for, but it's still good. It's not a bad song. So overall, this is just a really strong record for me. No, it doesn't sound, Don doesn't sing like he did in the 80s, but here, the way he sounds on this record, I like it. The songs work. They're catchy. I'm really enjoying this record. It's been in heavy rotation basically since this album came out. So if you're hesitant to listen to new Dokken because you don't know what to expect, I highly encourage you, check this out because of the great songwriting. All right. Let me know what you guys think of the new Dokken album. Let me know down below in the comments. Till we see you again. Stay heavy, stay metal.